Welcome to Undefined Beauty. Arian was just 8 years old when his parents died in a horrific car accident. He was sitting in the back seat, screaming for his mom and dad as they took their last breaths. The sound of shattering glass and crunching metal still haunted his dreams. After the accident, Arian's uncle and aunt, Raj and Nalini, took him in. They lived in a big house on the outskirts of town, but Arian never felt at home. Raj and Nalini were always fighting, and Arian felt like an outsider. As Arian grew up, he struggled to fit in. He was a loner, preferring to spend his time reading books or exploring the woods behind his house. But no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't shake the feeling of being alone. When Arian turned 16, he started getting into trouble. He would sneak out of the house at night, hanging out with a rough crowd of kids who introduced him to the world of crime. Arian was fascinated by the rush of adrenaline he felt when he was breaking the law. 2 years later, Arian dropped out of school and joined a local mafia gang. They called themselves the Shadows, and they were notorious for their ruthless tactics. Arian quickly rose through the ranks, earning the nickname the Ghost for his ability to slip in and out of the shadows unnoticed. But despite his tough exterior, Arian was still haunted by his past. He would often wake up in the middle of the night, screaming for his mom and dad. He felt like he was living a lie, pretending to be someone he wasn't. That's when he met Ria, a beautiful and fiery young woman who worked as a waitress at a local diner. Arian was immediately drawn to her, but he was hesitant to get close. He didn't want to drag her into his dangerous world. But Ria was different. She saw something in Arian that no one else did, a deep sadness and vulnerability. She encouraged him to open up, to share his true feelings with her. At first, Arian was hesitant. He had never shared his secrets with anyone before. But there was something about Ria that made him feel safe, like he could trust her with his life. So Arian started talking, sharing his story with Ria. He told her about his parents, about the accident, about his feelings of guilt and shame. He told her about his life in the mafia, about the thrill of the job and the fear of getting caught. Ria listened, her eyes filled with compassion and understanding. When Arian finished talking, she took his hand, her touch sending shivers down his spine. "I'm so sorry, Arian," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "I'm so sorry you had to go through all that." Arian felt a lump form in his throat as he looked at Ria. No one had ever shown him such kindness, such understanding. He felt like he could finally breathe, like he had been holding his breath for years. "Thank you, Ria," he said, his voice cracking with emotion. "Thank you for listening." Ria smiled, her eyes sparkling with tears. "I'll always listen, Arian." "Arian," she said. "I'll always be here for you." And in that moment, Arian knew he had found his soulmate. He knew he had found someone who truly understood him, someone who would stand by him no matter what. Arian and Ria started dating, their relationship blossoming like a flower in spring. They would spend hours talking, sharing their deepest secrets and desires. Arian finally felt like he had found a home, a place where he belonged. He knew he still had a long way to go, but with Ria by his side, he felt like he could conquer the world. And so, Arian made a decision. He would leave the mafia, start a new life with Ria. It wouldn't be easy, but he was willing to try. For the first time in his life, Arian felt like he had a purpose, like he was living for something more than just survival. He was living for love, for Ria, and for the future they would build together. Here's another story, the rise of a new era. Arian and Ria's relationship continued to blossom, and they became inseparable. They would spend hours talking, laughing, and exploring the city together. As Arian spent more time with Ria, he began to see the world in a different light. He realized that there was more to life than just making money and gaining power. He started to feel a sense of purpose, a sense of belonging. Ria encouraged Arian to leave the mafia and start a new life. At first, Arian was hesitant. He had been a part of the mafia for so long, and he didn't know if he could survive without it. But Ria's words kept echoing in his mind. She told him that he deserved better, that he deserved to live a life free of violence and crime. Arian finally made the decision to leave the mafia. It wasn't easy, but he knew it was the right thing to do. He and Rhea started a new business together, a small restaurant in the heart of the city. Arian used his skills to manage the business, and Rhea used her creativity to design the menu and decor. The restaurant quickly became a success, and Arian and Rhea became one of the most respected couples in the city. Arian finally felt like he had found his place in the world. He had found a new family, a new purpose, and a new sense of belonging. And he owed it all to Rhea, the love of his life. Years went by, and Arian and Rhea's relationship continued to grow stronger. They got married, had kids, and built a life together. Arian never forgot his past, but he didn't let it define him either. He used his experiences to help others, to make a positive impact on his community. And Rhea was always by his side, supporting him, loving him, and encouraging him to be the best version of himself. Together, they built a life that was filled with love, laughter, and adventure. They proved that no matter where you come from or what you've been through, you can always start anew and build a better future for yourself. A new journey begins. Arian and Rhea's life was now on a new path. They had expanded their restaurant business and become successful entrepreneurs. But Arian felt like he still hadn't done enough. He couldn't shake off the memories of his past. One day, Arian told Rhea that he wanted to work on a new project. He wanted to create something that would make a positive impact on people's lives. Rhea listened to Arian's idea and supported him. Together, they started planning the new project. Arian reflected on his past experiences and tried to learn from them. He decided to write a book about his life. Arian's book, A New Journey Begins, was published and became a bestseller. People read his story and drew inspiration from it. Arian also started a foundation based on his book, where he helps people in need. He turned his painful past into a positive force. Arian and Rhea's life was now on a new journey. They had fulfilled their dreams and become a successful couple. Would you like me to continue the story or start a new one? Beautiful pool. Beautiful dresses. Beautiful pool.